Are you planning on saying silent? You better not say anything squiff. You better keep that silly goose in check. Hello, how you doing? I was about to go to Discord and say some nonsense. Well, you can say it here. What is this squiff? I do not understand your Aussie words. I don't even think it's Aussie. I think it's just uh, gibberish, I say. But it's similar to guff, I guess. Not that that means anything either. It's akin to the word, you know, but not as rude. I could probably turn down my music, but then again, it's kind of balanced now, a little bit more balanced. Might turn it down just a bit though. Um, so we're back onto some line work tonight, which should be good. Should be good to kind of while away the hours. I have one, two, three, four, five panels left to do. Two of them are tiny, tiny, tiny panels, and then the rest are not deeply complicated. So I'm hoping to finish off the line work today. That would be really good, but we'll see. I didn't hit the button. Gotta move to a different screen. We can't just sit here in my stream starting screen. Don't work like that. Ugh. Apologies, everybody. I've found that I've been very phlegmy today, but not like sick phlegmy, which is good. It's just I got guff. I got squiff in my throat, you know. Introduced the word squiff, and now just using it constantly, as if it's just a common word that I would use. I don't use squiff a lot, but now I do. Now I use a lot of squiff. Just my general conversational patter. So we're finalizing a lot of the line work, and then we'll move on to the next panel, next series of panels. Amila's hat is kind of just thrown. Yuck. Okay. Just had to clear my throat a bit more fully. So I'm making it so that Ratchet has caught Armella's hat after the big old hug. Because, yeah, somebody's got to catch that hat. Yeah. Well, you see, the avocado industry in Mexico is so big, the cartel took over some farms through extortion, but the city of uh, Tans Tanticato, the world capital of avocado production, armed their citizens and to take it back. Oh my goodness. That's how important the avocado industry is for them. Wow. I did not know that. That's wild. I love it. That'll do. That'll do for cell shading there. Yep. spin. In it to spin it. Okay, there we go. We got a big old series of panels. Linework. Okay. Now, all we gotta do is separate them. Also, Gray, what program do you use for my PNG? Asking for my own person. I do not actually use a program. I use OBS. So there is a way of programming a PNG tuber just in OBS, which it, like alleviates a lot of the brunt that you put on your processor. It actually makes things a lot smoother. That's a thing, yeah. So one thing I can't recommend enough. There is a Twitch streamer called Shindigs. He has a YouTube channel dedicated to strange and obscure ways of utilizing OBS and Sammy for very outside the box thinking kind of. Curse you, Google. Should tell me this when I Google it. Yeah. So there's a streamer called Shindigs. He has a YouTube channel where he kind of teaches some of this stuff, but he does teach how to make a PNG tuber in OBS. So yeah, that's how you spell it, Shindigs. He's great. His stuff is fantastic, and I'm currently like watching his streams to learn how to make more dynamic TTS. Because his TTS stuff is incredible. It's so good. So yeah, I would highly recommend that if you're looking to make a PNG tuber and you don't really want quite as much of that processing power like being used on other things, or you need like another program open. That's a really good way of doing it. My PNG tuber no longer blinks, however, he bobs and is more dynamic in conversation. Your knowledge will increase. Yes, he's very good. So highly recommend Shindig. You just use Fugi at the moment. That's fair. Like, also the programs that do exist are great. I used to use PNG Plus or something like that. Something with one of those names. Oh no, VideoTube. I used VideoTube before I started using OBS for it. And like those programs are relatively simple. They don't really put too much strain on your PC. I found some of the more dynamic ones do. Like some of the more dynamic programs, I think like PNG Tuber Plus, where like you can kind of make the head turn and bob and things like that, was definitely had a noticeable difference in terms of PC lag. The program's simple, but you are dumb. That's fair enough. It's something that kind of like I would, if I had known that it was gonna be as complicated as it was, I may have actually avoided it. It's just a learning process, you know. You'll get around to it and you'll learn, but like sometimes you just don't want to. You don't have to deal with that. It should just be simple. But it's not. I can only imagine how difficult it is for 3D like VTubers, like, because that's the whole thing in and of itself. And I don't necessarily want a 3D model version of my mouse, just because this one works so well. So I don't feel inclined to upgrade to a 3D model that like uses your webcam, because that's like the difference between like a 3D VTuber model and a PNG model, where a PNG model kind of reacts to the levels in your audio. A 3D model has to react to something, has to have like a rigging to it. So as a result, you need to use a webcam for it. like one of those really complicated suits, which also kind of also requires cameras. So that's just a different like thing altogether, a different wheelhouse altogether, and I don't want to do that. I don't need complicated stuff. You know, I want to make the rewards complicated. You know, like complicated programs because those are just fun. I don't need to make complicated models. I don't care. People don't care. People like my model as it is. We don't need to change it. And then this guy who made his VTuber set up a video game. That's cool. Yeah, well, Doig Swift, their whole like stream overlay is a video game, which is fantastic. It's so super cool and really like in depth because they're both artists, and I think Doug, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's like Doug, but he's a 3D modeler and game designer. Hey, Sona, did you see it, Gramer? Did I see is it Jelly? Oh, hello, my beloved. Jelly's a partner, which big congrats to Jelly. So deserved. Yes, I suspected as much. Yeah, big congrats to Jelly. Definitely deserves it. Very, very happy for her. I saw the update while I was at work, and I let out like a little cheer. I was like, oh, Jelly partner, yeah, and that's super good because then, Jelly can get a little bit more support with Boobtober, which is super cool. Very, very happy about that. The Great Mouse Lord of Twitch. It's been so long. Hello, Zombie Slayer. I kind of did, I kind of did Jelly's like hello there. Hey Zombie, how you doing? We're just chatting about our good friend Jelly. They got partner. Very, very happy for her because that's huge, and I don't think anybody deserves it more than her. Really, she's gonna do some amazing stuff with it now. 14 minutes and 59 seconds late. That's fine. Zombubs. I like that. Zombubs. It's a good nickname for you, Zombie. But yeah, very, very happy. Cause like I have no intention of pursuing partner. Um, but I want to help Jelly with Boobtober as much as I can, or in whatever capacity I can. So my streams in September will be dedicated to Boobtober as well. So I am genuinely so happy for her that she's got that, and she's now being facilitated with support and resources that she so deserves. The only person I listen to here is Lord Mouse Immortal. I like Zombus though. Zombus is a lovely name. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, great for Jelly. Yeah, super great for Jelly. Very, very, very happy for her. But yeah, and that's some great news for today as well. I think that's a big win. For me, I just done work, and this is the first day where I actually haven't had like a shit ton of work. I mean, hold on, a ton of work to do. So, I've genuinely felt so good today, and that was like icing on the cake, I think. How dare you call me a mortal, you microbe? Don't know if I want that either. In all honesty, just sounds like too much. But for those who get it, then good for you. Yeah, and I think if you intend to do a lot of stuff with Twitch, then partner makes perfect sense and is a great system for people who want to utilize Twitch to its fullest potential, for sure. Um, so I'm super happy that fine, and also like not gonna lie, I know Simon Red. Sorry, my brain shut down halfway through saying his last name. Simon Reds had been pursuing partner for ages and deserved it so much. Oh, so you just gifted me a 2-1 subscription to Jelly. Thank you so much, so too sweet. How dare you? How dare you, sweetheart? You absolute bean. I appreciate that. I'm sure Jelly will be streaming tonight, or might be. If not, we'll pop in. I'll pop in when they're the next live, I think. Give a big congrats, because, yeah, super well deserved. Do you think it was the application where she said that she was getting married soon, so it'd be a great wedding present? Do you think that actually like worked? I like to think that that was what it was. Hold on, let me check. Uh, I'm just looking at this argument happening in my chat. And you're gonna do play nice, you two. It's two of my best supporters. Wait, Jelly's getting married. Yeah, Jelly's wedding is coming up. Very very happy for them. In like, I don't want to speak for them, but in a bit soon. Of course, I can pay you. What the? I know what you're talking about, but even so. But honestly, and also it's always so good to see an art streamer or a craft streamer get partner, because I feel like the crafty streams and stuff are a little bit neglected by Twitch a lot of the time. So it's always a bit of a shame when people like that who so deserve it kind of get a little bit ignored. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Solemn Organic. Look at your activities. My activities? Too expensive. Too high end, clearly. Let me just save. I never save. I always like work as much as possible, and then I just I just like don't save for ages. Jelly just shouted you out. Oh, that's why. I was like, oh, I just got a follow. I'm not sure why. Just chatting, you know. That's lovely. What a sweetheart. Jelly is such a sweetie. Like genuinely, it's so rare to like meet people who are just so sweet, and just yeah, what a bean. What a little bean. I'm high and guys. No, that's chill. Good for you, Silent. Know your worth. Know your worth. That's good. That's good. That's good banter. I love how just like it's been 21 minutes and it's already off like off the rails. We haven't seen rails for a good many years, I think, at this point, right? Lost the reins of chat long ago. Oh goodness, yeah. I think like halfway into my second stream when Loki showed up for the first time, I think I lost control of my I completely lost control of my chat at that point. It was just gone. My strength, my ability to keep you all in check just went. Couldn't compete, you know. Wasn't gonna happen. I wasn't maintaining that control. I never was going to. Just a figurehead now. Yeah, exactly. I have no power. I'm just like a mascot in my own stream. Essentially. Just a guy who shows up, waves, leaves, doesn't even know what they're doing anymore. I get like an itinerary, and that's it. Just like do this, say these jokes, don't swear too much. You do, we'll censor you, it's fine. But do these things. Thanks, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, your sponsor. and then say get in the soup, or damn my yaki is warm, or whatever. Tell you what, and I think I've said this before, but like, I may not want partner, but holy crap, I would 100% take a Yakult sponsorship. 100%. If Yakult were like, hey, we want you to be the Yakult ambassador, I'd be like, hell yeah. 100%. I love Yakult. Give me the yak. Don't worry, we will force partner onto me, Matt. No! Don't force me to be partner. Don't force me to partner. I don't want it. Give it to somebody else. Give it to somebody who wants it. And not saying that like it's not a fantastic thing. Oh, hey, Loki, thank you for resubscribing. Subscribed for 21 months. Holy crap. Almost 2 years. I was just talking about you as well. I was talking about how I lost control of chat pretty much into my second stream when you showed up. Pushes partner onto Suited. Yes, I think that's a very good cause. Suited deserves partner. If Suited wants partner, that is. How you doing, Loki? I hope you are well. It's lovely to see you. I think if Suited wanted the moon just a little bit closer, I think her chat would give it to her. You know? Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hear me? I think Suited has like like one of the loveliest chats ever. Very, very good community, and I couldn't be happier for her. I think that's worth more than gold. Having like a fantastic community, I think that's the best. And I'm not gonna lie, I have a pretty fantastic community myself. But I love talking about, I love talking, giving praise to Suited wherever possible. Pretty good. Your mum is flying out tomorrow, so I'm having problems sleeping. That's fair. That's fair. You feeling just a bit nervous or anything like that? I mean, I would assume so. There's a lot going on, right? It's been a big couple of months for you too, right? Not that it ever really seems to not be, though. You're very busy being. I was going to say being, but I think being is more appropriate. Uh, yeah, yeah. Sucks when you can't sleep. Insomnia is not fun. How's that? How's that curve? Is that a good curve? It's a it's a fine curve. I'm going to adjust it, of course, because I'm never happy. Never completely happy, straight up. But that's pretty good. As my community uses mushroom expert in reference to oh, that's really sweet. I'm actually like really flattered. That's really cute. Like I always say like it's just nice to be thought of. So if I'm being mentioned and stuff, that actually does tickle me pink. So it's very, very sweet. Well, over 4 months since heart attack, so no complaints here. That's fair. That's fair. I hope you are taking time to take it easy as well. They refer to me as mushroom expert. That that is so funny because also like a lot of my friends' parents refer to me as mushroom expert or the mushroom boy. Like they will refer to me as mushroom boy. So it's very apt. It's yeah, very, 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 very fitting for me because I freaking love talking about mushrooms. But yeah, like my friend's mum um, got to know me while I was living with them and found out that I was hugely enthusiastic about like learning about mushrooms and stuff like that. And then at their wedding, um, I I regaled like a group of people about my knowledge of mushrooms. It was a very weird experience, but very funny as well. So as a result, I just became known as Mushroom Boy to my friends' family. And yes, I do shout you out when talking about you. So sorry for the abundant amount of Americans. No, it's very much appreciated. Your community is very welcome here. Um, and like I said, it's just lovely to be thought of. Sometimes, it's lovely to be, lovely to be in people's minds. I think, and I think that for me is the biggest kind of blessing. Is that I kind of started doing this as a way of motivating myself to keep working on the comic, and then secondarily it became like a way of me overcoming a good portion of my anxiety, because for those of you who don't know, I suffer quite heavily from anxiety, um, and so that became secondary to just kind of enjoying my community and being there for people, and that became such a huge thing as well. I just thought you just enjoyed my company. Oh, I do that too. Like, that is absolutely the case. I think you, and like, this is not a joke, like, and one of the big reasons I continued doing it, especially very early on when it was very easy to kind of get dejected, I think the fact that you were always there made a huge difference. Um, so I do hugely appreciate just everybody, especially you, Loki, and your presence. I did see an average mouse stream, so let me grace explain. So an average mouse stream, basically, in layman's terms, is the easiest way to summarize it is that it is me just attempting to work on a comic while a fairly decently sized group of um, interlopers, fairly large group of troublemakers, let's say, prevent me from doing so. At least that was what it was in the early days. Is that it became such a huge thing about conversation. Like, entertaining you a lot was originally very secondary to my purpose of the stream, which was to work on my comic. And then the engaging in conversation became a bigger part of it. And so the streams slowly became more community focused beyond the point that I didn't expect it to go, which is, a good thing. It's always good to have that kind of unexpected change. Interlopers and Troublemakers Club Club of Mouses chat. Well, yeah. So basically, I guess like with the Let Me Gray explain, it's probably a good idea to work on like a mini piece of art that kind of symbolizes what I'm explaining. But basically, the stream originated as a means of motivation, and the schedule originally was so that I could work on the comic, something that I had been deeply enthusiastic about doing for most of my life. You forget chat is also usually sexually charged. That's true, but I like to consider this place a safe place for that kind of expressionism, right? So it is what it is. And I would never yuck anyone's yums unless they are disgusting. Disgusting or break Twitch TOS, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like originally it was just about making a comic and chatting to people along the way. And I never like turned away the idea that it would become something more than that. But originally, for those of you who are slightly newer to the stream, or at least came to the stream in this new year, one of the big things was that originally my intention was that I was only going to work on the comic. That was all it was going to be. My streams were just going to be me on the comic, and I did that 2 nights a week. Grey Review? Oh, I removed Grey Review. So basically, Grey Review is now Let Me Grey Explain. So I expanded out Let Me Grey Explain, and now that's Grey Review, and it's just basically just a redeem for me to ramble on about something, essentially. But yeah, so originally the comic was the only thing I worked on, and I didn't do games like at all. And then slowly I came around to the idea of doing games, and that's where I met like a good portion more of what has become my community, and through that we've kind of found a like-mindedness, and that's where kind of the comic has slowly expanded out. There was a review. I used to review stuff. Yeah, I used to review movies and stuff like that. Quick, climb into his ears. They're everywhere. It's my chat. That one looks a little weird. But that's okay. Some of you look a little weird. Bullet Train, the movie. Okay, yeah, that'll be next. Hold on. So yeah, basically, I like to consider that this is what my streams are. Is that originally, definitely originally, but now it's probably a little different now. But like it became just a bunch of people hanging out with me while I rambled, and this one's silent. While I rambled and like talked about stuff. And I couldn't be happier. And slowly I met other streamers who have just been absolutely wonderful. And so like it's one of the big things that I've been so appreciative of um is that basic look a shiny is that the community. I never expected the community to grow in such a way, and so that became something I've been so keen about, and I now really deeply enjoy coming to the stream and doing stuff because then I can hang out with people. I'm not to be seen because I'm under the so nah. Mind you, chat. This is all after His Majesty became known as the ancient-based Rizzler. That's true. But such a story is for another time, my liege. Yes, I will review Bullet Train in a second. Let me get through chat. Actual question: who is who in this drawing? Okay, so this is Silent. Silent's here. Let's Loki. Loki's here because Loki's my biggest supporter. Give him the glasses, Loki. um, Someone is under the table, so I don't need to point out where someone is. Stop giving mass under the desk support live. Yeah, someone's under there just like, damn, your cable management is shit. And silent, done silent. Zombie is probably in my ear, let's be honest. Zombie's definitely in my ear a lot of the time. Who else is here? Who else is here? That's the main guys. My mods are all like out and about. That's hard to do, but I shall troll in this drawing. I shall be the troll in this drawing. Okay, hold on, let me just... There you go, you got a bit of... I can't really do much of a troll nose. I must protect his liege from the earbugs. Well, there are creatures called earwigs in Australia. They don't actually climb in ears, but, you know, you get it. Let me handle your cables. Thank you so much. That's under the desk support for sure. Okay, now let me talk about Bullet Train. So that's kind of what my community is, and I'm very happy with it. You know, y'all are great. Now Bullet Train. I freaking love Bullet Train. I'm gonna say that like straight up. Bullet Train is so good. It is such a good goofy movie. And basically it's about a hitman called Brad Pitt, played by Brad Pitt, who has to assassinate a specific target. But there is a lot going on this Japanese bullet train. So he has to seek somebody out, but he doesn't really want to kill anyone anymore. He doesn't really want to be a hitman. He wants to reassess his life. And then, he needs to collect a briefcase. It's been a while since I've seen it, clearly. I watched it yesterday with my mum, and we loved it. It's so good. He just wanted the briefcase. Yeah, that's right. So he is seeking out a briefcase. However, a duo known as Tangerine... I can't remember the other guy's name. Tangerine and The other one. It's it's another fruit name, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Loki. Lemon. Lemon. Yes. Okay. So tangerine and lemon. They're seeking it out too. I don't know why I gave him glasses as well. He doesn't have glasses. Tangerine is played by I've forgotten his name. I almost said Mary Elizabeth Winstead, which is not his name. Um, but he's very good. They're all very good in it. But they're seeking it out too. Or do they have it? They have it, and then they lose. I mean, they don't lose it. No spoilers. No spoilsies. But they're hitmen who kind of may have fucked something up on one of their previous missions. Uh, there is also Karen Fukuhara. She's in it, which is great. She's not super important. She's just a attendant basically. She's great. Their job was to deliver the case. That's it. Yeah, that's what it is. Karen Fukuhara is there. She's great. She doesn't do any like actiony stuff. She's just uh, a tray lady, like the lady from Harry Potter, who's like anything from the trolley. But we love Karen Fukuhara, so that's great. So it's good that she's there. Um, just added her in because why not? Um, and then there is a guy who is seeking to kill someone who killed his son, and he's very sad. He's very sad for a lot of it. I don't know why I drew him smiling, but he's very sad. Uh, is the lady from Deadpool 2 who was lucky? Yes, she's also in it. But doesn't show up till much later as well. She plays a character called the Hornet, and she works for like the agency that most of these hitmen work for because she had a train uniform, right? Yes, yeah. Well, she gets a train uniform. I'm not going to spoil anything, but she does. She is very late. Yeah, she shows up much later in it. Now, but this guy who's trying to seek revenge on the person who didn't kill his son, but almost killed his son. Um, but that person is on the train as well. Not spoiling anything, but this is kind of revealed very early in the film, so I'm gonna like just show an image, show a very realistic rendition of uh, the child killer. So that's them. And there you go. There you go. And it's all on a bullet train. Not technically a spoiler because it's so early. I know, but it's also been a while since I've watched it, so I don't know what is or isn't a spoiler anymore. Um, and then yeah, so they're also all on they're on a bullet train, in Japan. There we go. And it's really good. It's a really good film. I would actually, for me personally, I would give Bullet Train like an 8.5 out of 10. Honestly, I think it's really good. Well worth watching because it's a lot of fun as well. So it's directed by the same guy who did Fall Guy, which is a newer film that came out, which apparently didn't do quite as well, but Bullet Train is really good. So I highly recommend it. Then there's the Mexican guy too. Oh yes, yeah, it was a trip. I was doubtful about them managing to pull all the stories together. Yeah, so like a lot of these characters' stories are quite interconnected. Fall Guy was good in your opinion? Fair enough. I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to pass judgment on it. I just heard that it didn't do quite so well, like at the box office, but that doesn't necessarily, to me, that doesn't dictate quality, honestly, because uh, I'm gonna provide what might be a unpopular opinion, but Deadpool and Wolverine did well at the box office, and that movie's terrible or not great. So sort of like Ready Player One. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I could very easily see films like that becoming cult classics, but we're just not in like the modern landscape doesn't necessarily accommodate well to cult classics anymore because cult classics are films that make their money back over long periods of time because of the lack of DVD sales in like in with movies now. There's not really that resale kind of or long term um re-earning its money, you know. Yeah, what the box office and Rotten Tomatoes say are just what the officials say. That's not the audience score. Well, even that, I would say Rotten Tomatoes is my problem with Rotten Tomatoes is it's very evidently bought and paid for. And in the sense that if you want your movie to appear well on Rotten Tomatoes, you just pay for it to do well. And it's very evident because there are some films on there that have scored really well on Rotten Tomatoes that are garbage. Uh, it's like a fall and then a rise in money. Yeah, yeah. And one of the big things for it, and I think on Matt Damon's Hot Ones interview, he actually makes a really interesting point about why we don't have cult classics anymore and why it's so hard to make good films in this current landscape. And it's because without DVD sales, films that are slow burn money earners don't earn that money back anymore because you don't buy DVDs anymore. You have them on streaming services or you have them, online. So you never really need to, you never pay for a second viewing or a long-term viewing of these things. So as a result, there is no slow re-earning of money, and therefore the production companies only greenlight productions that will make big money in the box office. Audience for Bullet Train was 73 and critics had it around 50. Yeah, exactly. It's like the critics, I don't, and here's the thing, here's another one of my perspectives, and I have wanted to say this for a little while, but I don't think critics know anything. And it's very much in the sense that I can't remember which is which, but basically if you're not qualified in nutrition, you can still refer to yourself as a dietitian as opposed to a nutritionist. And because the general public don't know the difference, they will just assume you are qualified. In the same vein, you can claim that you are a movie critic or educated in movies without having studied what makes movies good. And so as a result, you don't have to be qualified to critique movies, but people will still believe you just as much as a movie critic. Someone who is qualified in critiquing movies is a sense, sorry. Yeah, it has to come out striking, making money at first. That's what counts. Yeah. No, that's true. Even game reviewers don't know anything about games or gaming. Yeah. I stopped caring about critics when they bashed the first Matrix upon release and now it is praised and they scrubbed all the negative reviews. Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. And like, a good portion of them don't. And what I find interesting is that a lot of really good movie and I guess game critics to that extent, because it's all storytelling, a lot of them, the best critics that you can listen to are critics that actually ask questions about the films as opposed to critics who point out things that are wrong about them. If you know what I mean, if you catch what I mean. In that, because another thing is that a film is allowed to be bad, and it's something that we forget a lot of the time is that a film or a show is allowed to be bad, and if we acknowledge it, then you can kind of grow from it. I would trust the opinion of a seasoned gaming veteran, such as those in this chat, rather than some Hollywood bought and paid for reviewer. Yeah. I dislike a lot of movies nowadays, so I just don't watch them. Yeah, and that's also another good point, is that's, like, if movies are currently on this trajectory, just don't watch them. I would say buy DVDs. Well, that's one of the things, is like, I would say buy DVDs. And maybe, like, now there is a resurgence in DVD purchases as well, which is great, because that actually does have a direct influence on what gets greenlit and what gets made. But then also on top of that, I would say, yeah, just, I wouldn't listen to critics, because a lot of them nowadays, it's like you can earn a paycheck by saying some really nice things about a movie that maybe isn't very good, or saying bad things about a movie that is good. So I wouldn't trust a lot of critics when it comes to movies. I just found a reviewer who agrees with most of my favorites. and I put stock in their opinion going forward. That's fair, I guess, because then also that means that the critic is kind of their interests and likes are probably more tailored to what you're looking for as well. That's true, and sometimes they're so bad it's great. Yes, and that's fun. That's just fun. I would consider genuinely. I really enjoyed the Babysitter movies. If you haven't heard of them, they're really like terrible films, but I really enjoy them because they're partially so bad they're good. But once you get past the bad, like hokey dialogue and the rough, like kind of delivery of some of the acting, as well as like the plot is terrible, but it's actually a really fun movie. So as a result, I actually really enjoy them. Uh, while also understanding that they are objectively bad too. Uh, I'm a B horror fan. I love bad movies. Hive Me and the Jason X. Yeah, that's fair. That's the PlayStation method of getting high reviews. Yeah. Another I think cult classic is Real Steel, also with Hugh Jackman. Amazing. I agree. Real Steel is a fantastic IP and a fantastic plot. It's a bit it's a bit silly at points, and the kids acting is not great, but it doesn't have to be because it's very good. Tropic Thunder, yeah, very fair, very fair. I'm done with Marvel after bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Doom. Yeah, very fair. No offense to Robert Downey Jr. He'll do the role good. The offense is to Marvel. Yeah, they're just desperate. They're just desperately trying to cling on to um, that hype that Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man had. I see that Marvel is too much right now. Yeah, absolutely. And they're just like kind of churning stuff out as well. They don't care about their properties. So as a result, they're churning out just any old garbage. And then they'll kind of use smokescreen and argue away the point that their stuff is bad. Repo the genetic opera. That I would definitely classify as so bad it's good. For sure. But yeah, so bad it's enjoyable, and that's good stuff. Most, if not everything, after Endgame was oof. Yeah, I've talked to my friends about this, and it's because after Endgame it actually falls apart because it no longer has that three-act structure. Because you could kind of consider every single Marvel movie leading up to Endgame, and including Endgame, to be a three-act structure, but as a series of films. And now, because Endgame is the conclusion, the fact that it continued going causes every single movie after it to become an epilogue. Um, and again, I may get some flack for saying this, but I actually do think that the superhero genre ended at Logan as well. It was the perfect point to end the, not like forever, but to end the current golden age of superhero movies. It ended at Logan. Doctor Horrible sing along block. Disney has gotten rid of the soul in all of their IPs. Yeah, absolutely, and it's terrible because like you could make some fantastic films still. They just don't want to. They want to make quick stuff that makes money. Phase 1, 2, and 3 was the way they grouped everything up till Endgame. Yeah, exactly. It was a three-act structure, but just as a series of other films or multiple films, um, especially with all their shitty remakes. Yeah, exactly. It's so weird how like it's all about the money, of course, but it's so weird that nowadays the idea of making a good story is secondary, and that's really disheartening because it long term it means that the art of making good stories will falter and will fall apart because it doesn't make money the way it used to anyway, because no one will fund that stuff, and so it's regrettably dead on arrival. It makes me very sad because it's like really good stories make a huge difference, and there are some that have broken through. And back when A24 was trying to do a lot um, for new stories and unique stories. They released stuff like The Farewell, Everything Everywhere All at Once. These were films that were actually really beautifully unique. But then even then, A24 has started to kind of fall apart because it's now focusing more on making that money. And as a result, their newer stuff is less good because it's more focused on the end of the day, like the money at the end of the day. Which, as someone who studied cinematography, that makes me very sad because as a result, it's very hard to feel hopeful at pursuing, a career and stuff like that when you have to then make stuff that you know isn't good because you were educated to make good stuff. I agree. Gives Grave Mouse infinite money. Make the things. I mean, if I had infinite money, I would try. And I mean, part of what I'm doing now is that attempt to try, because I am trying. Like, I'm not. No joke. I've made Ratchet and the Beanstalk Brigade a big focus in my life, and I'm trying my absolute best to actually do the story justice. And it's why there are so many like volumes and spin-offs behind this one thing. Turn Ratchet Adventures into a screenplay. I don't know. Well, actually, technically, it actually has started off as a screenplay before it became a comic. So, because like I think I've talked about this before on stream, but my I have a bachelor's degree in screenwriting. So when I wrote the manuscript for this comic, it started out as a screenplay. Um, and my brother who reviewed it, I feel like one of the nicest things, like compliments I've gotten about my writing was basically that he said, "I'm gonna be really disappointed when this is turned into a comic because we will lose so much of that visual description because I'm a very visually descriptive writer." Um, so yeah, it's one of those things, and it's why like if I was ever greenlit to make this into an animated series, I'd be a nightmare to work with because I'd be like, this is already a screenplay. Do it right, do it all right. Otherwise, you don't get it. You don't get the IP. I just revoke it. I'll do what Neil Gaiman did and leak it. Like that, or like, hold on, what's his name? Alan Moore. I'm just gonna be a nightmare. If if my stories or anything that I've written gets turned into like an animated series or like short films or actual films or anything like that, I'm gonna be a nightmare to work with because I want that to be like I want justice to be done to it. Just put the visuals into the comic. What's hard about that? Well, they are put into it, but I use a lot of like poetic language. I think is the best way to put it. A lot of my language is quite poetic, and we see that in the narration at points. So I get to inject a little bit more of that poetry into the narration, but a lot of that is also lost when it comes to the actual comic. Oh, you're Mr. Flowery Language writer, man. A little bit, yeah. I do. Sorry, just burping. I do like flowery language. I kind of like to ruminate over poetry, like the poetry of language. I enjoy it. It's kind of nice. So as a result, my comic originated as flowery poetry language. Yes. Um, but also the manuscript pages are available on Kofi as well. So I don't think they're for free, but like if you're a member on Kofi, you can read the manuscripts of the chapters that have come before. Just so that you kind of get an idea of the language that I use. And what was I going to say? And like one of the things about the way that I write is that I do end up eventually kind of moving away from the manuscript anyway. Like, a lot of the beats are the same, but I use the manuscript as kind of a basic framework for how I'm going to set out the story, and then I will kind of shift and move things away from it just as a means of kind of exploring more natural and flowy dialogue, because Ratchet's dialogue with like characters like Armella can flow better once I kind of get a better idea of their space in the comic. Gives Greymass infinite budget to turn this into the next Lord of the Rings. Go bring me 8 movies. I mean, I would really struggle to put this into movies. That's for sure. But I'll do that for you. Yeah, if you give me infinite budget, I'll make anything, you know? I'll make anything you want, you know? It's also really funny because, like, prior to starting Ratchet and the Beanstalk Brigade, I had written a story for a mech, like, sci-fi series, which kind of followed Arthurian legend. I'll revive Christopher. Who's Chris? What? Christopher? Yeah, so I had a sci-fi series, but that followed Arthurian legend, in a sense, but with mechs. And I was like, I really like this, and then I stopped doing it because I was like, if I make this a comic, I'm gonna have to draw everything myself, and that seems immensely complicated. And around the time that I had started thinking about making a comic, the level of complexity required to make a comic like that was impossible for me. Hey, Nev. Hello. So Christopher. Ah, that's fair. He would make. I mean, he had a fantastic voice. Well. If it isn't Poops. Yes, I love the little like tagline. It's lovely to see you, Poops. How are you? How is you doing? You want to see Ratchet? He is here. Here's the baby. You want to see the baby? Here is the baby. You're good. I'm glad. I hope your week has started well. I would like to see the baby. The baby, yes. He's looking good. He's looking very cel shaded. This, like, currently, this is one of my favorite panels. Because look at him. Look at this guy. He's got so much attitude and character. His face. Look at this guy. He's great. Just having some water. Oh, a lot of water. Can you still what? Neb, what are you doing? It's too sweet. Ratchet the cutest. Ratchet is super cute. I'm very happy with him. The way he is developed as a character and his character design, I'm so happy with. Because Poops, you've seen the first sketch, like the first version of Ratchet, and like a lot of the pieces are there, but he has definitely changed for sure, in the best possible way, of course. He's come so far. He has. Once was just a little guy. He had like, I love thinking about the whole fact that he had. So in the campaign, he had rules. He had like a rule set. If he didn't get it, explain character design, I could do that. He had like a specific set of rules that, so like if he did not get enough attention, he would leave the party. He would never come back. He would like abandon the party and never come back. And now he's just a character in his own comic. And I kind of love that just dichotomy, because he's just, no one expected that. Much less me. Okay, let's explain some character design. So, jump back to my Let Me Graysplain page. Character design. So, how do I begin? How do I begin to explain character design? If you ever want to create anything, whether it be science fiction, whether it be fantasy, whether it be any kind of storytelling um, avenue, you need good character design. You need a character design of some form. Oh, so like a white puppy baby not getting enough attention. Yeah, exactly. A whittle puppy. Yeah, that was one of my rules. Was that like if Ratchet didn't get enough attention, then he would leave the party. He's just a whittle guy. Baby needs attention. Yeah, it was one of the little rules I had set in his like character basics. Was that because he was a 7-year-old little goblin. He needed attention. He needed to be kind of not focused on or coddled, but he needed to be acknowledged quite regularly. That turned out to be very simple, and that wasn't actually too big of a request because the party loved him. Um, and so basically, he was very ride or die, even when he was like faced with like objection from certain members of the team who you will learn about because the team also appear in the comic as well. So they will all appear, they will all be there. If you want to create anything, just ask Lord Mouse. Got it? Writes it down onto a notepad. No, I'm not going to create all your characters. So Christopher Lee was one of your favorite actors ever, not to mention when filming Lord of the Rings, he was told by Peter... Oh, yeah. Scream when was stabbed, and he's like, I've killed people before. I know how it sounds because I fought in World War II. Yeah, he was a... It was... Yeah. The fact that Peter Jackson was like, no, I need you to, like, make a noise and wail. And he's like, no, like, when you're stabbed at this point in the back, you don't make any noise. And he goes... Peter Jackson's just like, okay, fair enough. I can kind of run you through my process for character design, though. Mouse will only create 90% of your characters. Heard it here first, folks. No, if any of you send me characters to create, you have to get like a good portion of them done and prepared for me. Otherwise, I will not be making your characters. But so, to explain how I do my character design, I think that's probably the best way of doing it because explaining character design as a whole, very complicated. So the way I kind of do character design is that I usually will start off with a rough portrait. And so I guess I could always talk about character design of specific characters. Yeah, because all the air leaves your lungs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You would gasp a little bit. And I think he explains this. You would gasp a little bit. But that's it. But the way I kind of design characters is that I will start with a portrait because for me, expression and expressiveness is the most important thing. So I guess I might do character design of a specific character who will appear in a later point in the series. Uses mod invoice powers. It's just a blank D&D character sheet. I mean, that would work on me, but I'd be like, I don't understand. I have so many questions. Mouse could literally draw a character from scratch and just go with it. Mouse, it's okay. Yeah. Just make up a character. If one of you guys claim this character, then I'm going to be mad. So, like, you want a character who, if it's a background character, you don't need them to be too interesting. But if you want them to be kind of a focus, then you will want them to have kind of interesting features. And this can be like the most simplified stuff is that they can have scars, they can have tattoos, certain things like that. But then I also kind of like the idea, for me personally, I like the idea of like a lot of what they choose to wear or their accessories make a good portion of the difference when it comes to designing a character that has interest. So what do they wear? What do they choose to put on? Things like that. What is their, and like, what's their resting face? Do they have a resting bitch face? Do they have a resting confused face? Those things are kind of important. Because that kind of indicates either not how they are as people, but people's perception of them, and that will often influence who they are as a whole as well. Because if someone's perception of you is negative, then you're often going to either rise to challenge that or meet that, because it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. And you can start with the basic stuff as well, the basic kind of aspects of character design, which is they have to have, features like eyes. They can like not have eyes, but you know what I mean. It's like they need to have a face. They need to be expressive in some capacity. So you kind of create bits and pieces, and as you're kind of designing them, then it often becomes like a question of how far do you really want to go with the design? How complicated do you want to make that? Like these characters? Do you want a character to kind of be, to have like a false kind of persona? So I'm giving this character a fake mustache that doesn't match anything else, and so symbolically it kind of makes them come across as a performer. You would kind of expect this person to be a ringleader or a ringmaster of a circus because of the mustache, because you get that kind of immediate association. You give him a smug expression and then boom, you like, I hate this guy. You kind of get this sense. Gave him quite a chiseled jaw and a quite sharp chin, so basically you want to iron that stuff out as well as you go. I like that you almost started from the top and worked down with the portrait. I kind of work in a very confusing way. I kind of have the final image already in my mind, so as a result I will draw very weirdly, and I've always done that. Oh hey, it's Escanor. No, if he wasn't a coward. Yeah, well, we don't know that about him yet. This guy could be a coward. I like sideburns, so I might give this guy sideburns. Just because, yeah, kind of cool. And then kind of age his face a little bit. You give him the wrinkles. This guy kind of clearly scrunches his head up a bit. His forehead is fucking massive, and that was a mistake. But that's fine. We kind of learn from that. And you can also just bring the hairline down as well. But then, yeah, we've got kind of a character design immediately, and like so much of his personality has just come from the mustache. And it's things like that. You give your characters little bits and pieces, little accoutrements to make them unique and very interesting. And then because this guy, let's say, is a ringmaster of a circus, basically he would most likely have a top hat. And this is the second like top hat I've drawn in recent memory, hilariously, because we drew that that slime in a top hat. And we lose a lot of the hair, but that's okay because we've already drawn it, so we know what the hair will look like. And I'm not going to just erase the hair either. I'm just going to leave it there just because we know what it looks like underneath. And usually if these characters were more complicated or more present in the series, then you would usually add multiple different expressions. So then this character design becomes a character sheet or an expression sheet. But then basically if they are just like a side character or even just a background character, then the next thing you got to draw is the full body. And I'm not actually going to draw a full body sketch of him because we want to go back to the comic. See-through top hat, very eye-catching. Yeah, it's a real statement, you know? But basically, you would then draw the full body portrait. We've given him tails to his suit because, of course, he's a ringmaster of a circus. Then he's gonna have a very kind of ostentatious appearance. And like he would have one of those top hats that kind of builds out and expands out at the top, because that's just, again, ostentatious. And you want, like, my favorite thing is you want to have very loud visual design. If you want a character to stand out, you may as well go all out, you know, when it comes to that stuff. And yeah, so I'm not actually going to draw his full character because this guy's not going to show up in the comic. There's no way he can hide a rabbit in there. In this hat? No, because he hides it in his... No, he hides it in his... You know? What does that mean? I don't know. But then, you know, he's a ringleader. You can go with stereotypical, so he'd have a cane or something like that. Maybe. But then in a world of fantasy kind of creatures, would he have a cane? Would he have a cane sword? That's pretty milady of him. Would he be a very milady kind of character? We don't know. But that's what you kind of are there to figure out as the character designer. Rabbit with top hat. Because why not? Whip cane. A whip cane. Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. That's pretty milady. But is this guy very milady? We don't know. They've currently made it so he has like one really strong arm. So that's not ideal. But yeah, so I would say that's kind of character design. Or at least that's how I do character design. Is that I usually start with the face because the most important thing for me is expression. You want a character who is quite expressive. So you start with the face and kind of build out from it. What does this character look like? Character does, like, these characters or people don't really wear the same outfit all the time. So the most important thing to me is what would they look like as just a face. The bunny with the top hat is very cute. Hey, thank you. Maybe they'll show up in the comic. We don't know. Wink. Very discreetly wink to somebody who actually knows the comic. Thank you. Yeah, this I'm very happy with how this page has turned out. It's super cool, and the cell shading was such a good decision. Frothing, excellent. I love to hear it. C chatters. This is how you scam free art seminars from Mouse. I'm happy to talk about that stuff. It's not a scam if I'm willing to provide you with that information. I'm giving the information away for free. It's not a scam. You don't have to hustle me. You can just ask. I'm not Ksem. Ksem? I think that's his name, Ksem, who does like art classes on Twitch. But I love his work. His classes are great. If you actually do want to learn stuff, he's great. It's worth $90 billion. Scammer got scammed. No, it's a scam. Got him. We got him. Got him, guys. It's not a scam. I'm happy to do it. Fuck you guys. Well, and we got it for free. Just give it to you. Just give you the lesson. Give you the learnings. Sons of bitches. The only reason I don't censor every swear word I do is because I have to reach across my desk to press the button. So y'all got lucky there. Does that look like a hand? I don't know, we'll see. Gonna need an emote of Ratchet wearing sunnies so I can have a badass reaction. I could do that. We have one more animated spot, and I was thinking of either... Can't remember what... Oh, it was either a lick emote, like lick animated emote, a soup animated emote, or a sniff animated emote. But I could always do like sunglasses dropping down. I would like to give it to use, wouldn't you? What? Oh, you'd like to give it to us, wouldn't you? Now I feel weird. Now I feel weird about this. I feel less inclined to give it to you now that you've made it weird. Great, you've lowered the tone. You made it weird, Silent. No, you don't get art lessons. Great. I love that. Just, you made it weird. just gonna make it weirder. No, I can change the tone very easily. Yeah, that's true. Very good at that, Silent. Never change. Never change who you are. You fucking weirdo. You fucking freak. No, I'm joking. I think. I might give this motion lines as well. Because worst that I have to do is that I just basically have to add motion lines in the light section, so it's not too bad. Son in full down bad mode, that's true. But I mean, sun's always down bad here, so that's fine. The fuck was that noise? I might have some water. Been talking for a bit, so I might actually hydrate. Delicious. Water. Don't get addicted to water. I don't think it takes much to get sewn in that mode. You don't have to send pictures of my feet or anything like that. Just gotta chat for a bit, you know? It's so weird, the the level of progress I make on this comic fluctuates so wildly. Like yesterday I only got 2 panels done of line work, just line work. In 2 hours that I'm usually streaming. And then today I'm almost done. Most feet, no. They're not safely sheathed away in my Crocs. What was I saying? Yeah, so yesterday I got 2 panels done in 2 hours, and currently it's only the first hour, and we're almost done. It's so weird. Give the people what they need. Need is a strong word, because I would argue that some people need help, professional help, and based on the stuff that has been requested of me, so far I've not gotten a show feat yet. So I don't think people need that from me particularly. People seem to not desperately, but quite heavily want an audiobook from me. But never before have I gotten the feat. Not getting my tootsies out. They're for me. Me and my Crocs and my socks. That's it. No feet anywhere else. No one else ever gets to see feet. Them's the rules. Them's the heavily guarded rules. Did you know you can gauge when something important in the States is going to happen by pizza orders to the Pentagon? Interesting. Weirdly, that doesn't surprise me. I'm curious, but I'm not surprised. An audiobook would be great. What would I read? Well, I have had someone request that I read the first 2 chapters. And I did promise an ASMR kind of recording for, I think, 200. I don't mean 200 followers because we're already at that. I mean, once we get to 400, then I'll do an audio recording. I think that's what I did, because 250 we're gonna do a PowerPoint presentation and a giveaway. And then I think at 300 I release another recipe. I think it's at 300. So at 300 I will do an audiobook or an audio recording kind of things. I had been asked to do ASMR by an ASMR streamer. We're gonna hold out on that for a little while. What kind of PowerPoint presentation? You know what kind of PowerPoint presentation, Neb. I've shown you bits and pieces. So this time around it's a fan cast. So fan cast of the voices of my characters, if they became if it became an animated series. So I'm happy to reveal that it's not a secret. It's not a held secret. But yeah, at 250, I will do like a little presentation before the stream where I just talk about the voices, and then I'm gonna do like a bit of a breakdown. Like I'm gonna bust some moves. No, I'm gonna explain why I chose certain voices, and then also it's totally open for people to also join in on and kind of contribute their thoughts. But yeah. And so far, and I'm also looking at examples of the current voices that I've chosen. So I do have voices in mind, and I did always have certain voices in mind for certain characters. Morgan Freeman for Ratchet. Yeah, I think we. Who did we talk about being a voice for Ratchet? We joked about it. Um. Oh yeah, I can't say it now because it'll spoil the joke on the stream. Because there is a certain voice that appears, voice actor who appears quite a few times. Greymass reads Fourth Wing to chat. Oh god, can't remember, but it was dumb. Yeah, the voice actor themselves isn't like necessarily a joke, but I included them quite a lot. So as a result, it becomes more and more stupid every time you see them for like, voices of goblins or little characters or like children, fully adult. Um, Akutar. I don't know what these books are, but I'm nervous. I'm not. I can't. I'm not voicing smut. I'm not doing audiobooks for smut. All right. I need to get paid for stuff like that. All right. These pipes are not just giving away stuff like that for free. That's why I don't show my feet. For free? No, absolutely not. Because like when we talked about it being an ASMR thing, I joked that I was gonna pick themes that were like because it was gonna be ASMR roleplay, and I said very specifically as well when this was suggested to me. I said it will be the least sexual stuff I can possibly come up with because I know what I sound like. I do not need that kind of attention. Or that Minotaur milking book banger. Have you read that? I need to ask this now. Have you read that, Neb? I mean, I doubt you could read them. They have some pretty hard to read words in them. Silent. How dare you? I can read. I can read. No, but I wish I could. Fair. Fair. I'll read the terms and agreements of the mushroom books that I have. All the mushroom books I have, I'll read the terms of service or the publishing and distribution history. Talk about that weird trombonist in the woods from that field journal. Can you read people decribing their... Hold on. Decribing their though? Probably, yeah. You think my comics are just gonna all be like hand holding? Think I'm not prepared? Think think I'm not prepared to depict smut? Not in this comic. But maybe one of the spin-offs. Maybe either of the spin-offs. Maybe there will be smut. We don't know. I know. But we don't. Grimace, you couldn't say solidarity when I first arrived here? Yeah, probably not. I mean, you're probably right, because I have trouble pronouncing names sometimes, because my brain shut down. My brain no do good sometimes. And I'm okay with that. You're the one judging me. Morning Glory Milking Farm. I've heard it's really good. No cap. I've never in my life heard you say no cap, Neb. Absolutely not. Can I say oscillating? No. My favorite kind of sarcasm. Haven't read that one yet. Add it to the list. Silent. Add it to the list. My book. My book collection. My reading list 2024. I don't know. You don't know a lot about me, Gray. I'm super secretive. That's true. I don't know much about you at all. No. Yeah. A secret wrapped in an brain shut down. Beep beep beep. Beep beep beep. Don't even know where I live. That's true, I don't. No idea. Certainly not going there this weekend. Not me. Hey, tell me your secrets so I know more about you than Gray. I don't think that's gonna happen. I've known Neb for at least 5 minutes. So, I think I got you beat there. Think I got you beat. Cowboy baby. Cowboy baby. Yeah, that's true. Half cow, half baby. Oh man. That's like, pretty sure you're all boy. All boy. Yes. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Oh boy. Half cow, half boy, all baby. Sometimes I just gotta jam. Just gotta jam to the music. Not gonna lie, I never real stupid mistake. I didn't draw a side profile for Armella. Gotta do it in your character design. Otherwise, no side profile. Then you feel like a big silly sausage. Hey, Jamie. Grim Grim, just dropping in to say I hope you're having a wonderful week and you're cute. Ay. Sorry, missing these streams. Life gets in the way. That's totally okay. I hope you are doing all right. I hope life is treating you kindly. Thank you so much for popping in and saying hi. That's more than enough. It's very lovely to see you whenever I do get to. So don't you even worry your little cotton socks. E. So weird chin. Armella, why you got a weird chin? Why you got such a weird chin? That's a weird chin. That's a better chin, but not perfect. There we go. A better chin. Yippee! Yip! Second after that yip. The second half of that yip sounded like just fart. Ah! Celebrated too hard and shit myself. Nah! So I should just never express happiness. Don't express joy. You'll shit your pants. Then your joy will turn into embarrassment, like ash in your mouth. Like a sick joke. Your happiness turns to regret. Don't be happy. Joy equals shit, got it. Yeah. You learn quick. Don't be happy, never soil britches. Live a happy, secretly happy life. Profit. Or don't. You know, I'm not your dad. Do whatever you want. Profit, don't profit. Just live it. Live a life. Whose britches and why does he want me to shit on them? Not on them, in them. And you know whose britches I want you to shit in. The only person we know who has them. And shouldn't. Do I? Yes. Think about it. Who do we know, who do we both know who definitely has britches? The one person in our life who we know has britches. Or definitely has britches but hides them. Scam. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those are big fucking glasses. Jesus Christ, you specky freak. No, sorry. I don't make fun of people in glasses. You got it. Yeah. Next time, just trick them. Not trick them, but like, you know, just ask to see his britches and then shitting them. Real solid prank, you know? Emphasis on solid. You'd never see it coming. You wouldn't know what to expect. You just, like, fill his pants with poop. Classic prank. Do it while they're not looking. Harmless, but effective, as far as pranks go. Tell you what, the friend in question still hasn't followed me here, so I will be shitting in his pants. Get him back for all this, for all the delay. Where's my support? Shakes fist. Classic pank. Classic pank. Top tier prank. Watch Mojo's top 10 best pranks that never go wrong. Number 5. Shitting in your friend's britches. Start with ratchets like fringe. It's just the easiest part to draw. And the most fun. Forgot that I can just draw through this. What's number 1? I gotta know top 1 prank. Top 1 prank? I can't even. I need a mouse that needs pranking. Well, now I'm confused. Now I don't want to say it, because if it happens to me, I'll know exactly who did the prank. And I know it's a harmless prank, but I'm gonna be. I'd be mad if it happened to me. Take the kidneys. Commit a war crime in their name. Those harmless pranks, they hurt nobody, but get the prankee in big trouble. Oh no, who could have done that? Wait a second. Apparently I'm wanted for war crimes. Interpol want me for war crimes. Who did this? Who pranked me? Who pranked me? Get tackled, cuffed. Oh, you guys got me on an international watch list for a crime I didn't commit. Ah, guys. What a sweet, harmless prank. Hey, Smiley! Thank you so much for resubscribing. Subscribe for 7 months. 3 month streak. Hey, nice, nice, nice. How you doing? Again. How you doing, Smiley? Another war crime. Yeah, I keep getting pranked. Keep getting those silly little war crime pranks. Feels a bit wiggly. Let's, yeah, and want it to be circular, because Ratchet's eyes are circular. I feel like he'd also be a little bit more serious, so his eyes wouldn't be this big. Let's get this right. Sorry, I'm focusing. Well, time to collect a bounty on his head, then break him out of prison. Hey, you know what? I'm okay with that. Not allowed within 100 feet of an airport anymore. Got him. No, that'd be the... That's not a harmless prank. How will I get to Japan? I guess by sea. By port. I'd do that. I'd sail. It would take a while. But hey, I got leave. I got leave from work, which I may now have to use to paint a mural. I may have to use some of it for a mural. You received a sub as well, I see. Yeah. Smiley gets it because then he uses the tarot. Then he checks up on the tarot. Oh, and Smiley received the sub for you as well. But it's a good sub. It's a good channel that we're both sub to. Both big fans. What can we say? It's a good quality stream. Who we turned down a quality sub? New emotes coming soon. Ayy, very nice. Love to hear it. Lick emote. Very excited for that. That's pretty close. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching Attack on Titan recently, and I'm up to the final season. And the second, what's it called? The second intro music for the first half of the season of the first half of the final season intro music is just stuck in my head. Yeah, get that chin line, great, thank you. And had to go a few runs, had to have a few attempts at it, but eventually got there. Curves are tough, man. Curves bloody tough. It's hard to draw curves, especially when they're just normal curves, not curves on the lady. Know what I'm saying? Gang, lads. Um, but yeah, I got the intro music like stuck in my head because it's just like a chorus going da da dee dee da. So now it's just stuck in my head, and every so often I'm like da da dee dee da. Uh, who's my favorite character from Attack on Titties? I like Eren Yeager because he's he's saying the things I've been thinking. Uh, no, in all honesty, I freaking love Hanji. I think Hanji is my favorite character easily. I think Hanji's great. The researcher, and I mean I don't want to spoil anything, but currently where I'm at in the story, head of the scouts. I spoiled it. Who cares? What are you gonna do? Get angry at me? Series finished. Haven't seen it? Then you haven't seen it. I will spoil. There we go, much better. But yeah, I like Hanji. I think Hanji's great. Just enough kind of humor in a series that is quite grim to kind of rejuvenate my faith in anime. You know, because like, oh man, there's so many like, there's so much anime out right now that's just like, oh, sadness. Hey, do you like this character? Hey, guess what? They died in the worst possible way. They pooped themselves to death. But this is an anime about demons and overcoming hatred. Why'd my favorite character die pooping on a toilet, completely unrelated to the storyline? Damn you, I'll never forgive you, Japan. This isn't an actual reference. I don't know of any anime characters who have died on a toilet for no reason. Hey, do you like this character? Too bad, we went on a journey to the west. He went on a journey to the west. No, Elvis. Elvis is not from anime. This cannot become a thing. Elvis is not an anime character. You know, from that anime. No. I am shutting this down right now. Actually, he is our. For sake. Elvis was a real person. He died pooping. Cannot joke about this. He's a human being with dreams and poop. I didn't draw the top of Ratchet's head. What am I doing? King has been put into many an anime. Oh my goodness. Uwu very much. Oh my god. That's a direct code. Oh. In Elvis's voice. Uwu very much. I'll never forgive Japan for what they've done. I'll never forgive anime for that. And no, if you keep saying it, I'm not going to make it like, I'm not going to make it merch. I can hear Elvis saying uwu. Should see somebody about that. I'm not making a t-shirt that says uwu oo very much. With an anime Elvis. I'm not doing it. I'm not encouraging you lot. It's where the quote came from. Chef! Elvis was the first to say it. Elvis brought anime to the West, did he? It wasn't Akira. Uwu Elvis. Well, you got me. I'll have to draw it. Not just Uwu culture. Oh, okay. Fair enough then. Well, technically I have finished the line work, so I can draw Uwu Elvis. I haven't finished the line work. Hold on. Let me finish the line work, and then I'll draw you. Gosh golly. Goodness damn it. Uwu Elvis. Hey, Glenn. About to draw Uwu Elvis. You came at a perfect time. Capitalism wins. Yeah. You did redeem it, so who am I to stop it from happening? So defeated. We got him. You did. You got me this time. Sadness. Just spooked. Okay, there we go. We are done with the comic page, so we may as well move on to draw Ooh Elvis. For a second, I thought the shadow spot under the face was a mouth that had, and that makes it look horrifying. Shadow spot under the face was the. Oh, that is scary. Yeah, you correct. You got a good point there. That's scary. That's horrifying. Apologize. Apologies, I'm hiccuping. Okay, ooh, Elvis. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna quickly look up Elvis. Gotta find a good image. I don't know who Elvis is. Hiccup. I don't have a hiccup redeem. I should, because I hiccup a lot. Let me look at a picture of Elvis. That's Elvis. And then I gotta look up Uwu. This is gonna be. My search history is very weird. Self care. Thank you. I will take care of myself. Nuts. It's the other streamer with the hiccups. Yeah. It's that other streamer who has hiccups. Okay, I think I know what to do. First, though, big stretch. I'm good. It's a good stretch. Had some water, feeling refreshed. 30 degrees peak today. I will not leave the house. Very fair. That sounds horrible. Love when my beloved mouse makes those noises. Really? Those are the ones? Those are the ones that do it for you? So no. I don't know what to say. We're suspicious minds. Suspicious minds. And we can ooh together. With suspicious minds. Anything I do does it for you. Okay, fair enough. Well, ain't you the cutest? This is near Linda. I follow and I'm active to many streams. That's fair. Linda! I started making more funny sounds since I started watching my streams. That's good! You know what? That's the nicest compliment I could receive. I'm starting to make really weird noises, and it's because I've been listening to you. Thank you. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I do actually mean that because I think that's quite cute. That's quite sweet. If there's one legacy I would like to leave behind, it's that people now make weird noises because of me. You know? Because I make weird noises, and I have done most, if not all, of my life. And for a very long time, people were just like, freak. So now, the fact that people are like, nice, I'm gonna do that too, is very rewarding. Uh, I do the grey mass scream all the time. It's an everyday thing at this point. Hey, that's good. Yeah, Linda. Who's Linda? It's like letting some steam out of your brain. That's good. If it's like regulating for you, that's really cool. Cause for me it is. It's definitely a regulating thing for me. Is that I'll just make noises. Let me finish it before you say anything. Let me finish it. Let me finish. I know what people are going to say. Let me finish it. Let me finish it. Shut up. Let me. Oh, no one said anything. Let me finish it. Today I need to do the grocery shopping. I procrastinate. Oh yeah, right. Well, make sure to stay in your air-conditioned car. Ooh, pee pee. Yep, there it is. So, and it's not a pee pee. It's not a pee pee. It's an Elvis. It's not a pee pee. Ooh, Elvis makes me feel a certain way. Well, good for you. It's not a PP. Shut up. Shut up. It's not a PP. I love the idea of getting really defensive about it for no reason. Shut up. Shut up. It's not a PP. I'll have to make up the mouth. Heh, PP. No. No. PP on head. No. Oh, draw a Pokemon from memory. Oh no. Okay, I can do that. Well endowed Elvis. On his head? I could draw a Pokemon from memory. Give me a moment. Let me finish this Elvis. He doesn't need a chin. He doesn't need a chin like that. This feels inappropriate, but I'm gonna do it. Don't ask me how I could draw a toilet so quickly. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. He got neck problems. He do. He got bigger problems. He got bigger fish to fry than his leg problems. I mean, neck problems. Pants probably around his ankles. That's it. There we go. He's throwing them fish currently. Big poops. Bigger poops to poop, exactly. He also had like a big collared like jumpsuit. Just fill it in. Fill it all in darkness. There you go. We got Elvis. Ooh, Elvis. PP on head. Shut up! Alright, there we go. Now, there we go. Ooh, Elvis taking an ooh poop. Exactly. In the skibidi toilet. Hold on. Ludicolo. Ludicolo is a bipedal plant Pokemon that appears to be a mixture of a pineapple and a duck. Ooh! I put my phone down because I know what this one is. There's a green sombrero-like growth on its head that is similar to a lily pad. Growing out of the top of its head is a short brown stem with a yellow spiky upper portion. It has black eyes surrounded by a patch of green and an orange bill. Okay, less. Less aware. Its body is covered with yellow fur and has several zigzag brown stripes. Okay, I thought I knew what it was. I do not. Okay. So I vaguely knew what it was. Gen 3 best gen. Okay. Yeah. I had like I took a like half a second look at a picture because I thought I knew what it was. But then as the description went on, it slowly like lost me. So I had to check, and yeah, so I know the previous evolution or devolution of it. So I'm drawing what I saw now. It's going to be worse, but that's okay. Um, Now, I've not played Pokemon in years. As a lead in for those of you who have not seen this redeem before, I have not played Pokemon in a very long time. And so that's why we do this, because it's a really good way to humble me. Totoro, is that you? It kind of looks like Totoro. Makes it even better. That is, yeah. It wouldn't be fun if I knew the Pokemon. If I knew the Pokemon, it'd just be me drawing Pokemon, right? The fact that I don't know is kind of the charm of it all. It looks like someone drove over his foot a little bit, a little bit. You gave it a knife, yeah. Because I feel like Pokemon battles aren't nearly lethal enough. They get given like godlike powers and evolutions and abilities, but none of them have like just guns, just a knife. You know, this is a wild one, of course, because like you wouldn't find a tame version of this carrying a bin bag. It's like a mascot. Whoa, wait, what? This is from based on a picture I saw. This is me. It's the picture. I'm just drawing what I saw. I can't be blamed for that. I was just drawing from a reference. That ain't me. That ain't me. This ain't me. This is the picture I saw. It's a picture I had seen once. For a second. On prawn. Ah, no, I got on prawn. That's fine. I think we are done, so that we can raid out. I think you're going into the details. I am getting too getting too caught up in the details. Your paralysis demon? Lucky you to have an actual like spooky paralysis demon. Unlike unlike you, I have a research team who are my paralysis demon. They just watch me. They just watch me sleep and do research. It's very weird. I might leave that for now. I'm not gonna export that currently. Oh, rating already? Yeah. We currently only do about 2 hours for drawing streams. We'll bump that up to 3 hours, but currently I do need to be going to bed early right now, just because of the level of work that I do have to do. Also, those of you who don't know, I may or may not be painting a mural at a cafe. So future streams may be a little bit different because I may be doing that. It won't mean that streams are cancelled or anything like that. It will just mean that streams may have more controlled time frames. Streaming on site, no, sadly not. I won't be streaming that just because my goal is to kind of reduce as much as much time I spend like actually on camera. Um, so we'll see. Oh yeah, sleep doctors. I forgot about that. Yeah, I went to I went to a lot of sleep doctors when I was a youngin. Yeah, passed out for a second. I thought we were still on Elvis. Oh no. Yeah, my sleep doctors, my researchers, just wear a mouse mask. I could do that the whole time. I'd probably suffocate. I could do something like that. You should really stop streaming from a coffee maker mouse. No, it makes me coffee. So Like it. Okay, let's set up the raid. Hold on. Should we raid somebody new or should we raid somebody we know? We could always raid Jelly. We did raid Jelly yesterday, but Jelly did just recently become partner. Is Jelly still live? Jelly is still live. Paint fumes are nothing for the mouse. That's true. I'm very used to paint fumes at this point. Yeah, so if we want to raid somebody we know, we can raid Jelly to send a big old congratulations and well done for getting partner. If not, we can also raid somebody we know. We also more than welcome to. I'm also more than happy to raid somebody we don't know. Orange Coon Art is currently live, and that's a streamer who I have been looking at for tutorials and things like that. So I'm actually a big fan of their work. Who are we pillaging? I don't know. Down for Jelly again because of the circumstances. That's fair. I think that's probably a good call because honestly, Jelly deserves some congratulations, some more congratulations. So I think that's a safe bet. So I'll do that. Give him a little bop. Thank you so much for petting Ratchet. He really appreciates it, as you can see. All right, let's set up this raid. Do that. Bippity bop. We got a raid. I'll go to the end screen, and as always, thank you all so much for being here, for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I will see you all on Thursday with more Disco Elysium. Very keen to play that. I think we may be coming close to the end, but you never know. Let's raid Sona. They're not live, but it would be funny. That would be funny. But sadly, we gotta go say congratulations to Jelly. So we're gonna do that. Have a good one. Have a good one. Thank you all so much for being here. Go be the rainbow in somebody else's day. I will see you all when I see you all next. But until then, bye.